companies who have a variety of products. Some of them do offer still some actual real products like you're mentioning there, but the most of them, the most offers in those networks are really lead gen type offers, zip submits, email submits, a free trial, stuff like that that consumers can have almost instantly, um, or that provide the information that the merchants are looking for instantly. So I hope that helps. Punk Cash, he had some questions here. I was wondering how long are you guys offering the PPC bully sign up with the technique you use to find the profitable keywords going to last? Um, that's pretty much indefinitely. If you want to sign up through PPC bully, be sure to do it through the blog post. Don't sign up through PPC bully through the banners. Once you sign up, email Chris, send him your name, first and last name, and your email address. And once he verifies that you signed up through the blog, but not through the banners, he will quickly email you the ebook that I created quickly the other day, describing all the technique that I used to find a good group of profitable keywords, high volume profitable keywords too. So it's been pretty decent. Also, when split testing your LP, are you do you send a certain amount of clicks through LP1, then switching over to other LP once the certain amount of clicks has been met, or do you use some sort of PHP code to do this? I don't do one landing page at a time. I do them both at the same time. The reason why is if you sent 100 clicks, for example, to landing page 1 and got a 5% conversion rate, so then you switch it over, and maybe you broke even. So then you switch it over to landing page 2 and sent 100 clicks and got a 1% conversion rate, so now you're losing money. Well, if I had run them together at the same time, you'll be generating sales, so you'll be able to notice pretty quickly. Sometimes you don't have to let a landing page run for 100 clicks or anything like that to really get a better idea of how much higher one conversion rate or one click-through rate is on one landing page than the other. So I run them both together, and yes, I do use a script that splits the test up, or split test my landing pages. If you go to prosper202.com/scripts, there's a free script that Wes and the guys there have that you can use with Prosper 202 or Tracking 202. That will allow you to split test your landing pages very easily. So if you go there, they'll take care of that. And again, that's prosper202.com/scripts. Next question by NeoWave. My concern is with the landing pages, especially for those with little to no experience doing landing pages like myself. My biggest barrier is probably landing pages / copywriting. What are the steps that you take when coming up with a landing page? Again, very simple. I get an idea of what other affiliate marketers or marketers are doing in general. A lot of times I look at the merchant landing pages and kind of see and combine the two. So I take what the affiliates are using, I take what the merchants are using. I kind of come up with a design that looks a lot like the merchant landing pages, but maybe has some of the features that the affiliates are incorporating in their landing pages. That way when the visitors click through my landing page to the offer, there's not a huge transition there. The colors and maybe the scheme of things look a lot alike, so there's not a culture shock or a shock of any sort there. And really, it just when coming up with it, sometimes I let my designer come up with a whole new scheme. I give him a couple ideas and let him come up with something. I design sometimes myself. It just depends. About how long does it take for you to start from start to finish for a landing page? When designing one, it just depends on how familiar you are with graphics and coding. I could do a pretty decent one in about 2 hours. I'm not a superb uh, designer by no means, but I'm okay. My graphic designer just depends on how busy he is. He can throw one out pretty quickly. I do hire him out sometimes. I have a local friend here who's pretty good at graphics, and then I do some myself. So it just depends. How much do I pay on average? Well, I can't base it upon his price. It's a little bit different, but anywhere from $50 on the low end to probably $150 would be the high end, but you'd really expect something really, really, really good to spend 150 bucks for a landing page. So there's a lot of different places out there that you can find them. And could I give some examples of good versus bad landing pages? Um, I'll see if I can provide some links for some good and some bad. If not, what I'll do is I'll make an update um, here soon, kind of covering some good good versus bad landing pages and explain the reasons why. I might just make that a whole blog post by itself. Dar Phoenix, congratulations on your recent success, by the way. So let's go ahead and answer some of your questions you had. So here are your questions. You mentioned 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. as a bad time to run ads. Can you clarify a bit, as I'm not from the U.S., it is East Coast time. What I mean is I live in central U.S. time, so Texas area, Dallas. So basically what I meant by that was the majority in the majority of the markets, a lot of the conversions will take place from mid-morning all the way to say about 9 to 10 o'clock Central Time is the majority of your sales. So what I did was I didn't start the case study campaign start rolling until about 9 o'clock in the morning because Central Time, because usually from 6 to 9 in the morning you have a lot of coffee drinkers, or you'll have someone who's just waking up and getting refreshed, and they're just browsing the email or whatnot, and so they'll just click different things. They may be browsing. They're just not really in the buy mode a lot of times at that early in the morning. So what I would recommend is whatever time frame you live in, find out the time frame of the areas that you're promoting. So if you live, say, in England and you're promoting U.S. based offers, well, just kind of find out what the time zones are. So here in Central Time, when it's 9 o'clock a.m. Central Time, it's 10 o'clock on the East Coast, and it's 2 hours earlier on the West Coast. So when I started the campaign at 9 o'clock, it really started in California at 7 a.m., and it started in Atlanta at 10 a.m. So I just kind of made a compromise there. Didn't start it too early, because if I had started at 7 o'clock Central Time, I'd been starting at 5 o'clock West Coast time and 8 o'clock Atlanta time. So with only having a very small budget to work with, I didn't want all of my clicks to be used up in the matter of the first hour, so it didn't even pass 7 or 8 o'clock Central Time, and all my clicks and budget for the day be gone, and me knowing from experience that a lot of your sales don't come quite that early in the morning, so I just kind of wanted to maximize the potential for conversion, so I started a little bit later. Second question from Dar Phoenix. As to Acai offers, what do you think? Maybe it makes sense to run just in some states, example California, as opposed to the whole U.S. Um, I've thought about that a little bit myself. I don't know really if there's a big benefit in it or not. What the only really suggestion I would make there, and something that I might try as I continue to scale the campaign, um, is if you're using Tracking 202 or Prosper 202, make sure that you kind of keep an eye on the states or even the cities that a large portion of your sales are coming from. Um, by doing that, you might notice that for some reason, you know, 20 or 30% of your sales are coming from California or from New York or places like that. And if they may be profitable just from the sales from that area. I don't really know. That's a very challenging question because I'm not sure how to answer it myself. Um, but maybe just keep an eye on what states the traffic is coming from and the conversions most specifically are coming from. If they're just scattered, so you have some from Texas, from Utah, Nevada, Louisiana, Florida. If you just have them all over the place, I continue letting it run the whole U.S. But for the most part, I would say just let it run the whole U.S. unless the offer specifically doesn't allow that. Some offers only say run on X amount of number of states, and they'll give you the names of all the states. But the majority of the time, I would let it run on the whole U.S. You mentioned some rules on keyword deletion, like 2 times payout. Maybe you use some on LP, like how many sales are enough to make a decision in favor one of the LPs if click-through is the same. That's a very good question, actually. I